to the entertainment Talking Sports.
What is going on, football fans? Back at it with another New York Giants videos. I continue to do the profile videos for the players that the New York Giants drafted. Tomorrow, of course, I'll do the 5th round pick, so on and so forth. But I want to give each player their standalone video. And in this video, I'm going to do Darnay Holmes. I'm also working on other projects. People have asked me to do a 53-man roster video. As of now, of course, that's going to change over the course of time. I'm going to do a complete NFC East breakdown for the entire draft. I'm going to do what the New York Giants need to do in order to make the playoffs. I have a lot of video ideas in mind, but I'm releasing them to you gradually. And in this video, we're going to talk about Holmes out of UCLA, the 4th round pick for the New York Giants, a pick that surprised some people, being that he was a slot corner. We picked up Xavier McKinney in the 2nd round, and we really focused on that secondary. And one common question that I got during the stream and now after the stream is, where does Julian Love project for the New York Giants? After all, Julian Love plays the 2 positions where we selected our first 2 defensive players. He's a safety and he's a slot corner. And that's exactly what Holmes projects to be, as a nickel corner. Now, will he be the starter? That remains to be seen. Love could still very well be the starting slot corner, but Holmes is going to give him a run for his money. This kid is very smart, and he's got a lot of upside. 2 things that Joe Judge said he is looking for the New York Giants, whether it be the coaching staff or whether it be the players that he's brought in. You've seen a common theme with all these players that he's brought in. They seem to be smart, they seem to have a good work ethic, and they seem to have a lot of upside. You look at a guy like Parrott, you look at the prospect I was talking about yesterday from Northwestern. There's no different here. This kid graduated from UCLA in 3 years, is an avid chess player, seems to be incredibly intelligent, seems to be hardworking, seems to want to pick up as much knowledge as he possibly can. And the upside, well, that's certainly there. The kid ran a 4.48 40 time. He did dip a little bit in production last year, his junior season, but has a lot of upside. And if he's coached properly, could very well take a big jump in the NFL. He also never played the nickel position until the Senior Bowl, which is where we know the New York Giants, in the past have definitely paid a lot of attention to that game, and he stood out in that game, and the Giants must have been impressed enough to select him in the 4th round. So let's jump into some of the things I was able to dig up from Holmes regarding his potential, his past, everything else. Here's his profile on NFL.com at the Combine. Was 5'10", 195 pounds, 29.5 on the arms, 9 1/4 on the hands. Another thing I wanted to point out to you guys, his dad actually was a professional football player as well, so he has some pedigree there. In terms of what he did at the Combine, like I said, he ran a 4.48 40 time. He did 12 on the bench, didn't partake in any other drills, but certainly showed the speed there and, the athleticism. The overview: short, strong cornerback with good aggression, but troubling tape in terms of staying connected to routes. Tight hips and a lack of coverage instincts are a challenging combination for a cornerback who can be over-responsive to route movements. He plays with good toughness and decent ball skills, but he lacks functional length, being that he's only 5'10", and struggles to flip the hips and reach top gear quickly, which could make him a sitting duck against vertical challenges, which is why I think he projects more to be a slot corner, nickel corner, at the NFL level, even though he didn't play it that much well at UCLA. And here was a quote regarding the nickel corner position from Dan Dugan for the New York Giants. Holmes said his first exposure to slot cornerback was at the Senior Bowl, and he loved it. Tweeted Giants beat reporter Dan Dugan. That's good, because that's likely his NFL home. Holmes graduated from UCLA in less than 3 years, and along with that, he picked up the game of chess. He first noticed several quarterbacks engaging in the game, and his interest was piqued. And that's interesting. That shows you that he picked up a love for chess to try to enhance his game as a football player. And he talked further about that in a Q&A with the New York Giants. I saw several cornerbacks playing chess, and along with quarterbacks, I read it earlier in the article. And I'm the type of player that wants to get insight on everything that's going on. I walked up to the chess master and asked him, "Do you mind helping me out with chess? The reason I play chess is I want to have efficient thoughts. I want to make sure I am making forceful moves, and I want to make sure everybody responds to things that I do. Everything I'm doing, I'm not a piece, I'm a player. I'm going to make sure the team is working accordingly, and we're all on one accord. chess is a great thing for me to get my mind off of football, but also get my mind in the state of being efficient in everything I do. And that's a great quote. That's a great way to look at this. This kid is always working to better himself, not just as a football player, but just as a human being, always trying to challenge himself, make himself smarter, make himself, a more intelligent person in general. And it just speaks volumes there that he picked up the game of chess just to further his productivity, not just on the football field, but in life in general. This was talking about his willingness to learn and work hard. My thing is to just be a sponge. Talking about DeAndre Baker here. DeAndre is there a year before me, so he definitely learned more things than I have learned. I'm definitely going to get under his wing and try to contribute in every phase. I'm going to be an asset. I'm not going to be a liability. I'm just going to play my part and maximize my role for sure. And in that earlier quote, I also wanted to talk about that he talked about being a football player, something that we heard from Isaiah Simmons that we all loved. Seems to be the type of guy that's going to do whatever it takes to win football games. And it's been a common theme with all these guys that they've drafted. The Giants went for high character guys with athletic upside, and guys that they thought would fit their scheme. This was an article written, I think I got this off Giants Wire, talking about Holmes. The best nickel corner in the 2020 draft class possesses a unique set of skills that should enable him to shine immediately in the league. Holmes' combination of speed, agility, intelligence, competitiveness, and toughness are ideal for a slot corner position, which is viewed as the 12th starting spot on defenses in today's game. The UCLA product has the capacity to cover shifty receivers in tight quarters and also understands how to maintain his leverage to maximize the help available to him from linebackers and safeties. Holmes' high football IQ and his overall awareness of coverage would make him ideally suited for the slot corner role in a multifaceted scheme that demands a lot from the nickel back. Given Holmes' toughness, tackling, and competitive spirit, the move inside could help him become a game changer at the next level. And you gotta love hearing that. And we talk about it all the time. Having players on the Giants that could take away the middle of the field. This kid seems like he has the drive, the competitive spirit, and the athletic ability to really help us in that area. I know a lot of us wanted Simmons for that reason, but this kid looks like he could definitely help us there along with McKinney. So the Giants definitely focused on that area of the defense where we always struggle against tight ends, against slot wide receivers, things of that nature. And hopefully McKinney and Holmes could go a long way towards helping us get off the field on those 3rd and 8s, those 3rd and 10s where we so often struggle against throws up the middle of the field. And then I just wanted to go over his strengths and weaknesses according to NFL.com. The strengths: self-starter and high achiever off the field. 8 career interceptions with 2 for touchdowns. Well-built and strong. Smoothness in backpedal from off coverage. Hustles to challenge throw side positioning on slants. Aggressive challenging short routes and at catch points. Turns to locate the football when guarding downfield. Passes off route combinations from the zone. Consistent effort and finish as a tackler. Offers kick return value with a 93-yard return on his resume. So there's another interesting aspect of his game. Now, whether or not he will be the kick returner, that remains to be seen. Of course, we brought back Corey Coleman. We brought in the kid Dillon, who possesses even better speed than him. I think he ran a 4.29, something along those lines. But this is something that Joe Judge is always looking for. Guys that could do multiple things. Well, he was a kick returner for UCLA. And then finally, some of his weaknesses. Lack of functional length, which has been talked about. Below average instincts from off coverage. Tight hips lead to clunky transitions in space. Missing twitch and burst for shorter corner. Slow to gather and drive at the top of his drops. Route anticipation and response quickness miss the mark. Slow to find his top speed and press recovery downfield. Clever route runners can spin him around. So, some things he definitely needs to work on, and some things that, well, quite frankly, he can't work on. The guy's short. You can't expect him to be able to guard tall wide receivers down the field, which is why I think he projects more so to be a nickel corner at the NFL level. And he knew that, and he adjusted at the Senior Bowl. He had a quote of saying that he loved playing it. He's looking forward to playing it at the NFL level because he knows that's the position that will best suit him when he's getting paid in the NFL, and it's where I expect the Giants to play him. I don't think he's incredibly versatile in the sense that I see him being a safety. I think he's going to be that nickel corner for the New York Giants. I don't really see him playing too much on the outside. Now, the question is, will that hurt a guy like Corey Ballantyne potentially from getting booted off the roster onto the practice squad? He's certainly going to be playing for his job because the Giants have really bolster that secondary, and expect Holmes to be a big piece of the New York Giants defense going forward. If you couple his intelligence with his athletic ability, his willingness to learn, and his upside with this coaching staff, you may have a dynamic player that the New York Giants found in the 4th round that a lot of people really weren't looking at. I think a lot of people in that spot were thinking center. They were thinking high upside wide receiver. Instead, the Giants elected to go with the best player on their board that still fills a need and allows the Giants to have more versatility in the back 7 of that defense. As always, guys, if you liked what you watched, please subscribe, drop a comment, maybe give me a little thumbs up. Cheers.